Hello there. It's Loren. I'm here at Tanglewood on my back patio on a beautiful Friday morning. I hope you're doing well and having a great week. And I hope more than anything, you are not caught up in all this ridiculous fear around the coronavirus. And we're going to talk about that today. Okay. Hello, Stephanie. How are you? I'm doing great. No, so far we have not been able to coordinate a date. Actually, I was gone. I don't know if you remember, but I had a meeting in San Jose, and so just got back night before last. So I've only been here now for a day and a half. It'll probably need to be sometime next week, but don't worry, it's all happening. Again, Central America, it means it doesn't happen quite as quickly as we'd like things to happen, but it's all happening. It's all good. Hello, Sheer. How are you? In case I catch the coronavirus and start a fast, in which case would you say the conventional medical intervention would be necessary? Probably never. Can you explain why a person who never fasted should drink lots of water, but a person who fasted can get it from fruit? Maybe. I mean, yes, I can explain that. Whether I'm going to get the chance to explain that today or not, I don't know. We're going to talk about some other things. Hi, Lockman. Hello, Castro. God bless. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on coronavirus. That's what we're going to talk about today. Bend over, girl. Sometimes I only breathe through one nostril. Can fasting help with this? Yes, indeed. You have a blocked nostril, and that's your fasting will clear your sinuses. Thanks for all your wisdom. How can I thank you? Thank you for the thought. Let me see here. Where are we? Okay. Hey, Loren, greetings from the UK. Dieter, good to see you. Jerry says, Loren, very much looking forward to the visit in April. How do you know when to eat and to stop when the body isn't clean yet? Got tips for improving air quality at home. Okay, so again, there's lots of questions here. We're going to talk about coronavirus today, and then maybe we'll get a chance to come back and talk, look at some of these questions. I'm not sure. Okay, JJ says, I think that's JJ, for when people are eliminating a lot of mucus, you give them a rag or something to spit it out discreetly. Well, yeah, in the case of respiratory failure, you'd probably want to go get medical care, but that's pretty unlikely. Stephanie says, I'm glad you're going to talk about the coronavirus. What a ridiculous, overhyped scenario. Buckle says, hi. Bend over. If I fast at Tanglewood, I'll come back to Vancouver, and I can't seem to find natural spring water. I would think there would be excellent spring water from somewhere in that part of British Columbia. You may have to drive an hour or more, but what I would do is I would buy 100 gallons of glass bottles, 2 5-liter containers, a gallon containers, and I would go fill them all up at the same time and keep this perfect water in glass. It'll last, it'll be fine for a long time. That's what I would do. That's going to be better than buying water. If you need to, I would buy good quality spring water in glass bottles. Okay, that's going to be the best way. Monzon, good to see you. Happy, I love you too. I'm happy that you're here with us today. Helen makes miracles. Hi, Lordy. It's Helen from Cyprus. Will your fast help with heavy metals? Yes, indeed. The body will detox heavy metals when it's given the chance to do that. Our bodies are incredibly intelligent, right? What we want to be clear about. So there's questions every day. Will fasting help me heal from this, or will it help my body eliminate that? Our bodies are self-cleansing and self-healing, okay? Only the body can ever heal the body. There's nothing else that ever heals the body except the body. Herbs don't heal the body. Superfoods don't heal the body. A raw vegan diet doesn't heal the body. What some of these things do, for instance, if you change your diet, if you improve your diet, you're now less in the way than you were before, but your body is healing. Now maybe it's able to heal because you've improved your diet, but your body is doing the healing. Okay, 100% of the time, your body does the healing and the cleansing. And so fasting simply gives the body, when it's done correctly, it's done as well as possible, fasting gives your body the optimal conditions to cleanse and heal. Amazing things happen when we do that. Okay, that's why we see such miracles. Helen, you've sent me information, excuse me, based on what you've said. If you're coachable and willing to do what you need to, I can virtually guarantee you're going to eliminate those issues, because it happens over and over again every single time. That's what happens. Okay, it's amazing what the body does when you give it a chance to. So let's see here. David says, "Hi, Loren. Would having enemas during a fast affect the healing process in a big way?" It would. Enemas are an unnatural thing which flush out beneficial bacteria and weaken the muscle of the bowel, and they ensure poorer bowel function afterward. Okay, poorer bowel function afterward. Not something you need to do, not something that's beneficial to you, not something we do here, not something I would recommend. There are exceptions. If you are in a situation where you're in severe pain because you need to eliminate, there's a mass sitting right there at the back door and you can't get rid of it, then an enema might be useful, but only under those circumstances. And that's not usually what happens. Okay, so there's no reason to be using enemas. Again, honestly, for everybody, fast with experienced guidance, because it makes all the difference in the world. Okay, and then you don't have to worry about all these little questions. Let someone who knows what's going on guide you through the process. Okay, I can help with that. I've done this many thousands of times now over nearly 30 years. And so let me guide you, because there's nothing more important in your health. Here we are at a time, here's where we transition. Here we are at a time, in a week where everyone in the world is freaking out about the coronavirus, COVID-19. Okay, what is the coronavirus? I mean, everyone's freaking out about this, and yet most people aren't doing what they really need to do to take their health to an amazing level. Because let's be completely clear, first of all, COVID-19 is a cold virus. Okay, that's what the coronavirus is. Colds come from coronaviruses. Okay, they're always different. They're changing all the time. 19, because 2019, it's gonna be different, changing all the time. It's always adapting, and this is why vaccines for viruses typically don't work. That's why the flu vaccine is a bad joke, because it does nothing. Because by the time the vaccine based on last year's flu virus, and then this season comes along and it's a different flu virus. And so how's last year's flu vaccine going to do anything for you? Well, the answer is it doesn't, except make your body more toxic, make you weaker and more toxic. It doesn't help. And of course, with all the uproar, they know there's no longer mercury in flu vaccines, right? Now it's aluminum instead, which is just as toxic. And you want to understand, I mean, what's going on here? Coronavirus was engineered. Okay, it was engineered. It was made on purpose. It was released in China. The idea was to scare people into submission to coronavirus. And the coronavirus is affecting a lot less people than a lot of other things do. And there's nothing to be afraid of, because it's a friggin' cold virus. So a lot of people are going to get it. In the same way, if you walk into a place of work or a school and someone's infected with the virus, you're gonna contract the virus. But that doesn't mean it's an issue. Okay, I've been working with people who are sick now for 30 years, and I've never been sick. Okay, it's not about what pathogen you come into coronavirus. It's easy. Get enough sleep. Okay, eat as close to optimally as you can. Sip enough water. Sip water. Let me demonstrate. just a little tiny bit at a time. If you drink that glass and put it back, it's not helping you. The way the body works is really simple. If you take that water in quickly like that, your body has to filter it right into your bladder. Okay, this is how you make clear pee, is drink quickly. It's not helping you hydrate. It's not doing anything for you except flushing out electrolytes, which, it's not that big of an issue for most of you most of the time. I say it's an issue for me because I'm constantly dealing with people who are fasting. And the last thing you want to do if you're not eating anything for weeks at a time is flush out the electrolytes that you have. That's what drinking quickly does. It's not helping you in any way. Okay. But get some exercise. I mean, if you're exhausted, rest, exercise later. But how you create an amazing level of health, whether we're talking about today where people are terrified of the coronavirus, or we're talking about at any other point in time, how you create an amazing level of health is exactly the same. Do everything you can to meet your body's needs as well as possible. That's all you have to do. It's not rocket science. It's actually the simplest thing in the world. Okay, it really is. I mean, I'm not oversimplifying it. I'm not. Take a look and see who's actually dying of the coronavirus. It's people who are, generally speaking, older and already have existing illnesses. Okay, in other words, it's people with poor immune function. Okay, that's who's going to get sick. That's who's going to die. I mean, you can contract the virus and never experience anything, or you can contract the virus and have a fever and have a dry cough, and then in a few days or a week, two at the most, it's gone and you're perfectly fine. Most people who contract this virus are not going to die. This is nothing to worry about. This is not a serious problem. Okay, this is not the Black Plague. Okay, this is not one of these diseases that killed everyone who came in contact with it, or 60%. We're talking about 2 to 3.5% of the people who contract this are actually going to die as a result. And the people who die are going to be the people who already have poor immune function. So if you've got poor immune function, this would be the time to do something about it. Okay? And first thing you can do is you can fast. Now, fasting is amazing if you know what you're doing. You do it properly. Unfortunately, I literally get 4 or 5 messages every week from people who are asking me for help because they've created problems for themselves because they fasted without knowing what they were doing. Okay, very few people succeed in getting the greatest amount of benefit possible when they fast on their own. Very few people do that because they don't know what they're doing. So let me guide you through the process. Okay, I can, if you're concerned, I can start you. So happens I've got some time coming up. I can take a new group. We do a group fast now. It's an hour-long call every day. We'll have up to 5 people on the call, plus me, and I can start that next week. If there's 5 of you that want to do it, we can do this. In fact, I'll give you a discount. 5 weeks. What you do is up to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In most cases, people need to do at least a 4-week process. That's what's going to give them the results, but that's up to you. Okay? Feel free to email me separately. Don't assume that your message here, I'm going to get a chance to look at it. That might be difficult to do. Okay, we have a super chat. Let's see here. It's at the bottom of my screen. ITAC. Hello, ITAC. Thank you so much. ITAC has made a €10 donation. If you're new to super chat, the way this works is you make a donation and you get my immediate attention. So ITAC is asking, hi Loren, how much time should be at least between 2 long periods, 21 to 30 days of water fasts? It varies from person to person. In most cases, people seem to do best, in my experience, waiting at least 8 months between fasts. But there are exceptions to that. There are times where it's not necessary to wait that long. There are times where People, in fact, might be better off waiting much less time than that. Each situation is different. So feel free. You're always welcome to contact me and ask, what, given your circumstances. And you can ask me, if it's a simple email, that's fine. If we need to, maybe do an hour-long consultation, that might make sense as well. But for most people, it's going to be 8 months. This is not something you want to do one right after the other, because you want to give your body a chance to finish cleaning the garbage out of the arteries. That can take weeks, at least 4 to 6 weeks. You want to give your body a chance to rebalance everything. That can take some time as well. You want to give your body a chance to fully inhabit its new self, where it's functioning as efficiently as possible. Going from one fast to the next is imbalancing. Fasting is an amazing process, but it's not a lifestyle. Okay, it's a tool to use to bring the body back into balance in the right conditions. So not something you want to do one right after the other. Okay, I hope that makes sense. We have another $9.99 donation from Flower Bomb 90. Thank you, Flower Bomb. Does your stomach get acidic with extended water fasts? I get the sour taste in my mouth when I fast. No, the stomach doesn't get acidic with extended water fasts. Well, let me back up and let me respond slightly differently. That's a possible symptom depending on what's going on in your situation. Okay, so yes, your stomach can become acidic while fasting. My stomach does not become acidic with an extended fast, but it can happen for somebody depending on what the body is doing. So there's going to be lots of different symptoms, and this is where it's really important to have somebody guiding you through the process that actually understands what's going on. Okay, what you're experiencing and why you're experiencing it, and able to correlate that to your vital signs and explain to you why you're experiencing what you're experiencing. All right, so yes, it can happen. It is nothing to be concerned about. The bad taste in your mouth, again, this is the result of cleansing. Once your system is, some of you are going to wake up every morning and with a nasty coated tongue. Your tongue should be pink. It should be clean every day. You shouldn't have to clean it to get to that point. But when you're fasting and you're detoxing at the fastest rate possible, there's going to be some pretty nasty tasting stuff happening in the mouth sometimes. And so that's completely common and nothing to worry about. And the question is, what's going on around this, right? To understand what's happening so you can relax and not have to worry about it. But back to the coronavirus, right? I mean, you want to be really, really clear about this. The last thing you want to do, I really believe this is engineered and this is happening on purpose. They're attempting to control people. And the last thing you want to do is get caught up in the fear. Okay? I have an extensive t-shirt collection, living in the tropics where it's warm every single day of the year. And sometimes I'm out doing something where I'm sweating. I come back from being in town where it's really hot and I have to change shirts. So, I have an extensive collection. So I chose this shirt today on purpose. On my screen, it looks backwards. So I'm not sure if you can read this, but it says, "Life is good." Life is good. I happen to be a motorcyclist. I love riding motorcycles along with body surfing. It's one of my favorite things to do. And the fact is, life is good. Okay. Yes, people are going to die of the coronavirus. People die of colds and flus every year, but you don't go freaking out about it. Okay. This hysteria is happening on purpose. It's been orchestrated. And your job is to stay balanced. Your job is to refuse to get caught up in the hysteria. Someone asked me yesterday, are you concerned? How concerned are you about this? And I said, approximately 0%. Like, not at all. There's nothing to be concerned about. I'm not concerned about anything because I'm completely clear that my health is something I control. Now, I know there are people here that say, yeah, but I have trouble. I make poor choices. I don't want to, but I make poor choices. Okay, but you know what? That is something that you can fix. Are you really committed? Because if you are, there's a way to change that. Okay? There's a way to change it. And fasting is an amazing tool because when you fast, what happens is you no longer crave the same garbage that you craved before. That's just what happens. And so, one of the things to do is to get your body clean. Give your body the chance to cleanse and heal itself. Okay, give the body the chance to get rid of all the garbage that's been going in there over the course of your life up until now, because there is stuff that's been there since you were just a little tiny kid. And if you're eating conventionally, you are still contributing to that pool of toxicity in the body. Okay, you can begin to change that right now. If you're really worried about the coronavirus or anything else, it's simple. Start making better choices. Okay, start by eliminating how animal products are better for you. It's absurd. Okay, our systems are practically identical to those of the other anthropoid primates, chimps and bonobos in particular, almost identical. They live on almost exclusively fruit. So should we. Okay, that's what works. That's what allows you to stay healthy and vibrant, to stay strong and fit, okay, with relatively little effort. Okay, to go out and enjoy life and not get sick and feel amazing. You can do that. It's completely up to you. So that's a good place to start. Next, cut out all grains. Okay? I mean, there's steps. If you're willing to do the whole thing, that's the best way. And if we don't get a chance to get into all of it right here this morning, today on this live call, I've got 525 videos on the YouTube channel. So you can go find all the information you want. If you really want some help, if you want to be walked through the process, no problem. Contact me. We will schedule a consultation. Now, by the way, our website is down. Our website went down yesterday evening. I've put out 2 messages to my web people and haven't heard back yet. And that's probably because my email comes through my website, comes through my server, right? My email is Loren@tanglewoodwellnesscenter.com. And so it's all connected. And so I woke up this morning and thought, we have a problem. I've gotten 4 emails since 6:30 last night. I'm not sure why any of them filter through, but obviously, I probably get on average at least an email every minute of every day. There's no way I've gotten 4 emails in 15 hours. And so this is what's going on. If you don't hear back from me, I don't know how long this will take to resolve. Hopefully it gets resolved today. In fact, I'll take a quick look and see. Again, I don't know if I'm going to hear back from my people. Yeah, so far there's been no other emails, and they normally respond right away. So I'm guessing what's happening is that their emails aren't going to come through. They'll have to reach me some other way. But if you've tried, if you've sent in a registration form, if you've contacted us through the website, right now I'm not getting those messages. That should be resolved, hopefully within 24 hours. Okay, but just know everything's fine here at Tanglewood. It is the same as always. I mean, we're preparing for the April 25th open date. We still have a few slots available. We'll probably be full as we usually are. If you're ready to take your health to an amazing level, I'll guarantee you, if you're open and coachable, if you're willing to do what I instruct you to do, which isn't difficult, it's simple actually, but if you're willing to do it, you're going to see amazing things happen. You're going to leave here feeling and functioning like a new person. Okay? That's what happens. It's incredible. So Um, I was talking about changing your diet, but I mean, really, the most powerful thing you can do is to fast, because fasting gives the body the wholesale opportunity to cleanse and to heal. We're worried. I was talking about immune function. The studies show fasting immediately boosts your body's immune function. People have been on, don't you get weaker when you fast? No, you don't. You become stronger immunologically. Okay, you become healthier immunologically. It's the most powerful thing you can do for yourself if you do it correctly. And few people do it correctly on their own. But if you allow me to guide you through the process, I guarantee you results. This is why we have hundreds and hundreds of testimonials. And yeah, there's a couple of crazy people out there who'll tell you that our water is acidic and I'm a bad guy and I'm going to molest your grandmother and whatever else. But the fact is, there's no evidence to support any of those claims. It's the bottom line is this is a natural process that works when it's done correctly, and nobody alive today has more experience guiding people through it than I do. No one who's still working anyway has more experience guiding people through it than I do. So looks like we have another super chat here. It's William. Hello, William. How are you? William says, I have a friend at work who has Crohn's disease. He's had 3 surgeries to remove 1-foot sections of his intestine. Can fasting help him? Yes, fasting not only can help him, fasting, when done properly, will help him. Now think about this, okay? Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, to a lesser extent, irritable bowel syndrome. These are all lower GI tract problems. Well, where there's ulcerated tissue in the colon, where the colon doesn't feel good, it doesn't function well. And how does it heal when it's still having to work and process food through it every day? Okay, how does that happen? Well, the answer, unfortunately, is not very well. Okay, when people fast and they do it correctly and long enough, we see practically 100% success with healing lower GI tract problems. So it's funny, I have a young man here now from the UK. He fasted 30 days. He was here for 6 weeks of the session. He came in very lean, and people thought, how's this guy going to go 30 days? Well, lean people lose weight more slowly. Almost everyone can go at least 6 weeks. He fasted 30 days with no problem. He got very, very weak, but no problem. We moved him to the closest room, and he was happy. And he made it through the process, no problem. During refeeding, now I remember it was the last week, I think, of his fast, or the second last week, and he said to me, what am I going to do if I can't eat food? Because before fasting, I mean, he came in very, very lean because he had trouble eating almost anything. And he said, what am I going to do if I can't eat? I guess I'll just die, because I'm going to have lost all this weight and then I'm not going to be able to regain any weight. And I said, okay, but maybe it's time to reconsider your paradigm, to reconsider what's going on here, because he's interacting with us as if he's still sick. I was like, but wait a second. What do you think your body's doing right now? Okay. When you rest your digestive tract, it has a chance to finally heal, to actually heal. Okay. I mean, all the way, the symptoms that most people think are hunger, those aren't hunger symptoms. That's your body. If your belly could talk to you, it'd be saying to you, please don't feed me. Please don't put anything in my stomach, because I'm trying to heal the belly. Okay, and that's the message his body was getting from the colon. Please don't put anything in here. Okay, so he started eating, no problem digesting food, no problem eliminating, still eliminating old material. And he completed his 12 days of feeding. He spent a week here at the Fruit Festival, which was not an easy task, with tons of amazing things around. Hard to not overeat, but he did his best to stay temperate. And then now he's stuck around another week to volunteer. He'll be leaving us on Sunday. But he feels like a new person. Okay, he's feeling and functioning better than he has for years. And this is consistently what happens when people with lower GI tract problems fast long enough and properly. Those are the 2 keys. You have to do it long enough and you have to do it properly. If you don't do it properly, you don't eliminate all the old material. And if you don't eliminate all the old material, your body's never going to get a chance to really heal. Okay, it can't happen. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But that's the way it is. So, best thing you could do for yourself if you're worried about the coronavirus is A, take some deep breaths. Okay, meditate, calm yourself, get clear. The coronavirus is the same type of virus, same strain of virus that creates a cold. That's all it is. Yes, people are getting sick. Yes, people are going to die. Just as happens with the cold and flu viruses every year. Some people will die. A small percentage of people will die from them. Okay? This is really no different from that. It's not. And there's nothing to worry about. So, how many of you are familiar with the Serenity Prayer? I may have mentioned this here before because I'm really enamored of it. I think it's an amazing piece of wisdom. If you're not familiar with it, the Serenity Prayer says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay? So there's no reason to freak out about the coronavirus. Do what you can. Okay? Take care of yourself. Take care of your temple, right? Start making the best choices possible right now. Okay? Get enough sleep every night. Okay? Get a little sunlight every day if you can. Hopefully, many of you are in places where the winter is now over and it's starting to be spring, and you can hopefully it's almost the middle of March. You're going to be able to get a little bit of sunlight every day. Do that. Okay? Sip ample, clean water. For most of you, you're going to need to drink at least 4 liters a day. For the Americans, that's about 8 16-ounce glasses every day. Okay, at least. Sipped slowly over the course of the day, no more than 1 glass per hour. Okay, critically important, no more than 1 glass per hour. Take it in too quickly, and you flush out electrolytes, and it goes right to your bladder. It doesn't help you. So you have to take it in slowly enough to actually allow your body to do what it needs to do. Okay? Change your diet. Okay? Not juices, not smoothies, not dried foods. Okay? And I mean, again, I get it that for some of you, yeah, but that's what makes me feel good. Like I want to be able to pat myself on the back. I'm doing something good. Okay, well, the very best you can do is to eat a diet of whole foods. So focus on high water content foods as much as possible. Mono fruit meals, 1 type of fruit at a time. Okay, today I'll probably eat watermelon. We have a lot of watermelon here. We completed our fruit festival. It, by the way, was amazing. We've had amazing feedback from everybody who was there. I'm really sorry if you weren't there this year. I hope you don't make the same mistake next year. We will be releasing, how do I say this? Yeah, over the next week, we will be putting up the 2021 Fruit Festival, and there'll be a yoga retreat 1 week before, and it'll be up on the website with the lowest prices. So you'll have a chance to sign up now, get it handled. You can relax and not worry about it, and just wait 11 and a half months for it to come along again, because it's an amazing event. Once again, incredible fresh fruits, amazing watermelons and mangoes, papayas and pineapples, several varieties of bananas, snake fruit, sapote, sapodillas, breadfruit. Most people have never had a chance to try raw breadfruit. It's incredible. It's delicious. Malay cherries, lots of very cool things. Amazing jackfruits. We had probably 200 plus pounds, over 100 kilos of incredible jackfruit. Some of the best I've ever eaten. And this is what it's going to be next year as well. So, this is an opportunity to get yourself registered as soon as possible for that. I see we have another super chat. Jerry, I'm sorry I missed this until just now. Let's see here. So Jerry has made a €5 donation and is saying, just want to say you're an amazing inspiration. Can't wait to share your wisdom, embody natural health, and show people what's possible. Much love. Thank you, Jerry, very much. I really appreciate that. Honestly, I feel so fortunate to be able to do what I do, to live in paradise and share this message of health with people. And clearly, I mean, every single day, if you read the comments on my YouTube videos, every single day, someone's telling me I look terrible and I'm an idiot and don't know what I'm talking about. But the fact is that what I'm sharing with you guys here today, this works over and over again. Okay? People get amazing results over and over again. People get amazing results by fasting. People get amazing results even if they don't want to fast, just by changing their diet and following the very specific recommendations I'm making, because juices and smoothies are never optimal. And again, I know I'm probably pushing, some people's buttons right now, but the fact is we are never going to improve on nature. Never going to improve on nature, right? I had a volunteer yesterday telling me how we should be feeding our bananas. And I said, I was sitting there at dinner with a plate full of our own apple bananas. We've got tons right now. I think we have 4 or 5 different varieties of bananas that we've grown here right now in the kitchen, in our pantry. And I'm sitting there with a plate of these big, fat apple bananas, which are amazing. I mean, like amazing. I've mentioned this before, but every time I go to the market, today, Friday, there's a produce market, a farmer's market, and I'll go there because there are sometimes some things that we don't have here. And so I'll go and see what I can find. But when we don't have our own apple bananas, there's always some there. I'll buy some. I'll bring them back. And invariably, nobody here wants to eat them because ours are so much better and the same is true with all the bananas, right? The way we grow bananas using permaculture, it's incredible, right? I mean, so the food quality is amazing. But I feel very, very fortunate to be able to be here, to work with people like you, Jerry, like so many of you here. I know many of you, and I feel really grateful to be able to spend my time helping people who are truly committed to their health, right? Come back to the serenity prayer, okay? Don't worry about those things you have no control over, right? Do what you're able to do. You're able to take control of your health by making healthy lifestyle choices, by eating optimally, by getting enough exercise, by getting enough sunlight, by getting enough rest and sleep, by getting enough clean water. You can change the course of your health from this moment on, like starting right now, okay? You can stop making excuses if you're one of those people doing that. Yeah, but it's hard. Yeah, okay, so what? Lots of things that are useful are hard, okay? I mean, again, it's been said in life, you can make progress or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. It's up to you, okay? I mean, stop making excuses if you're doing that. In fact, if you're telling yourself, yeah, but I can't. So one of the first things I tell people I work with is, I don't want to hear those words. Okay, you're not allowed to say I can't or I cannot in my presence. You can't do that. Can't, right? Why not? Because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you tell yourself you can't do something, you're programming your very powerful subconscious mind. So if you program your subconscious mind over and over again about what you can't do, how are you going to overcome that? Okay, it's not going to happen. Okay, this is why Henry Ford once said, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. So stop programming your subconscious mind to fail. Get clear about what you're committed to. And then if you believe there's something you can't do, instead of saying, I can't do that, ask yourself, how can I? How can I do that? That's an empowered question, an empowering question, because it gets this amazing computer working to find the answer. And you'll find the answer if you ask an open-ended question like that. All right? So I hope this is useful for you. I hope so. You know, it's really distressing to go on Facebook and watch all these people freaking out about coronavirus. There's nothing to freak out about. Not now, not today, not ever. And I don't care what happens. I don't care how it changes. I don't care what the next pandemic is. The simple question is, are you doing what you can do to take care of yourself? Because if you are, you got to let go of the rest. I mean, if the global powers shut down all travel indefinitely, I might have a hard time paying the bills here. Okay? But I can't do much about that. I mean, what I can do is I can look for other ways, maybe, to earn money, to maybe to focus on the online coaching I do, Skype fasting, etc. But I can't freak out. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to freak out about it. I'm not going to let it ruin my day. I'm simply going to take control of those things I have control over. And I'm going to focus on those things. And I'm going to let go of all the rest. Okay, that's what you need to do. So if you're worried about coronavirus, or people in your family are worried about coronavirus, let them know, hey, it's essentially a well-marketed cold virus. Okay, it's a cold virus that's getting a lot of hype. And yes, a few people will die. And if you take care of yourself, you don't have to be one of them. It's not a chance. It's not going to be your luck whether you get sick or die or not. It's up to you. Okay, you can start to change right now if you haven't already. I know most of you here are already making better choices than most people do. But nobody has to be a victim of this. You don't. Okay, you get to choose. It's really up to you. And this is almost always true in life in general. This is why it's been said there's no victims, only volunteers. Who's volunteering for the coronavirus? Well, how about all those people who keep on drinking and smoking and eating crap? Okay, some of them are going to feel victimized when they get sick, but they're making choices right now that ensure their eventual destruction. The question is it going to be this week or this month, or is it going to be next year, or is it going to be 10 years from now? It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. You don't ever have to do that. You can make a choice right now that from this moment on, I'm going to make choices that empower me and allow me to feel and function amazingly well, so I never get sick. So this thing up here continues working as well as it ever did. Okay, now, I mean, maybe yours works 20 times better than mine. That's entirely possible. But I can't worry about that. My question is, am I doing everything I can do to make sure that I'm functioning at my highest level? That's really all I can do. That's really all there is for me to worry about. Okay, that's the only question worth asking. Am I doing what I can do right now to function as well as I can? And if not, why not? Okay, I see people making stupid choices. Sometimes I'll ask them, do you want to die? Why are you doing that? Okay, I mean, they have the right, of course, to do whatever they choose to. But folks, act consciously. Act consciously, then you won't be surprised by what happens. Okay? This is simply the way it works. This is being in touch with reality. All right? So let me ask you a question. If you are enjoying this, have enjoyed this so far, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share this, right? I mean, there's a message here that I think people really need to know. And maybe the thing to do is to share this on your page so other people can get this message. Okay? What do you think? Thank you so much. I see several of you jumped on the thumbs up. I appreciate that. I can't see if you're sharing this or not right now, but I hope you do. Thank you, guys. I've got just a few minutes left. I'm going to scroll back up and see if I can figure out where I left off answering questions before. Okay, I see there's some nonsense on here. You know, my YouTube channel is not a place for trolls. So if you're here trolling, feel free to move on. Okay, I wish you the best life. I hope you have an incredible life and manifest everything for yourself possible. I do not understand when people go on to other people's videos or channels and make rude comments. I mean, folks, don't you have better things to do? Okay, so no, we don't really have time for that here. This forum is for intelligent conversation, both this one and the one that will follow. You know, once we're off the air, people will be able to make comments as they normally do on a video. Same thing there. Okay. All right. Here's a question. I'm sorry, they're not necessarily in order. All animals in the wild drink lots of water at a time. Why should we sip it? Okay. All animals in nature drink lots of water at a time. Well, I would question the validity of that statement. I think if you look at the way most animals lap water with their tongues, they're not getting a tremendous amount of water in at one time. Now, I'm no expert on what animals do. I'm an expert on what actually works for human beings. If you guzzle a glass of water, you will pee it right out and it will take electrolytes with it. That's the answer. Okay, so it really doesn't make any difference what animals in nature do. That doesn't work for you and I. That's only going to mean that you're going to pee more, but you're not going to hydrate, and you're going to lose electrolytes. So if that's like, if you really enjoy peeing, then yeah, drink as fast as you like. But if the goal is to actually get yourself hydrated, that's just not helping you. Okay, what's clear is that you need to sip water. Little tiny bit at a time. That's it. Okay, that's how we're intended to get our water. That's what works best for us, and so that's what you want to do. All right, let me scroll backwards and see if I can find where I last stopped. I don't see anything here. Okay. Oh, here we go. I think I found it. Yes, Dieter asks, I have quite a few questions. Iodine, chromium, molybdenum, biotin on the optimal diet. There's limited nutritional data on these nutrients online. What do you know? Well, you know, what I know is that over the last 28 and a half years, I've gotten all the nutrients I need by simply eating whole foods. Now, iodine's a good example. You know, people freak out about iodine. The wholesale medical establishment freaked out about iodine about 100 years ago, and they started putting iodine in salt, right? Iodizing salt, table salt. But studies with animals in nature who need the same things we do show that they are, the vast majority of them, not iodine deficient. The only ones who are come from places like the Great Plains in the U.S., where they grow only the same 4 cereal grains over and over again, where they've destroyed the water table there. It's, you know, now there's salt, and they've stripped all the nutrients from the soil. And so if you're eating food from a place where the soil is completely useless, then yeah, you're going to have an issue. But if you're buying organic produce where the growers must do what they can to ensure higher quality soil, you likely don't have to worry about any of these things. Now, if you are concerned about them, there's a very simple thing you can do. Okay, go to the ocean, bring gallon plastic jugs, fill them up with seawater. Okay, go home, take a 50-gallon barrel, pour in the seawater, and then fill the rest up with rain. Or start with 50 gallons of rain, take a gallon out, put a gallon of seawater in. Use that water to water your vegetable garden. Okay, because seawater contains all the trace minerals. And so if you use diluted seawater that way to water your garden, you will get every nutrient you need in your food. That's going to be one of the best ways. You can also take rock dust, which you can buy. Again, you're going to get virtually all the nutrients, all the minerals, trace minerals you need are going to be there. Has to be organic produce. If you're growing commercially, if you're using commercial pesticides, then you're killing off the bacteria in the soil, which help the plant to take the nutrients from the soil, the inorganic and mineral, metallic and inorganic forms, and convert them into organic plant tissue. So this plant has all kinds of minerals in the leaves, but it can't do that without having bacteria in the soil. And so another reason you should eat only organic produce, okay? Buy organic produce, you'll get all the minerals you need. You should never have to worry about anything, okay? There's no reason to ever worry about this. Now, again, this comes back to the Serenity Prayer. Do what you can do, okay? Take responsibility for taking care of those things you have some control over. So grow some of your own food. Make sure the nutrients are there by putting them there, by using some seawater, by using some rock dust. If you don't live anywhere close to the ocean, I mean, either do a long road trip and go get a bunch of seawater, or buy rock dust instead. If you're fortunate, as I am, to live close to the ocean, it's not hard. Okay, we can bring back seawater anytime we want to. So you can do exactly the same thing. Okay, I see we are down to just a couple of more minutes. If anybody has a burning question, this would be a good time for a super chat, because I'll get to you. Sherry G made a $2 donation. Thank you very much, Sherry. You are very welcome. There's no question there, Sherry. Is there any question I can answer for you? Anyway, thank you very much for the donation. I really appreciate that. And I see there are many more comments. Again, I'm sorry I'm not going to get a chance to get to them all. It can be very difficult in this format where there's so many questions. I'm really thrilled to see everybody participating. If I didn't get a chance to greet you earlier, welcome. I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you. And again, if you believe this has been useful, then please give it a thumbs up if you haven't already, and share it on your own channel, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you like, to ensure that more people understand that health is something that we largely control, okay? Even your genetic inheritance. I mean, genetic inheritance is real. There are some things we have to overcome, okay? I wasn't sure if I'd get into this today, and I only have a moment, but I was born with an inguinal hernia. Had surgery when I was 5 years old on both sides of my groin. Was told I would have a nearly 100% likelihood of recreating this in my lifetime. I did in my late 20s. It happened while I was lifting weights, putting too much, a lot of stress on my abdominal muscles is what happens. I felt it pop, knew exactly what it was, told the doctor. And 2 weeks ago, I was feeling invincible. I was doing full body dips, about 20 at a time, and just knocking them out. What's up, Chai? I got a kitty here named Chai that's very, very vocal. Hello, buddy. And so I thought, this is getting too easy. And so I asked a little 90-pound young man to jump on my back. And he did. And it was a little too much for my abdomen. So I now have a hernia. That's my genetic inheritance. Okay, that's something I was literally born with, this weakness. And the question now is, how do I deal with it? Okay, well, I mean, at this point, I have no intention of getting medical treatment for it. I'm going to let my body take care of it all by itself to the best of its ability. If it's unable to and it becomes a problem, that's another story. Okay, but generally speaking, we can, and this was me doing something foolish. Okay, generally speaking, we control our health by simply making the best choices. So folks, I hope you have a fantastic weekend, a wonderful week. Oh, Alfredo has just made a €10.99 donation. Thank you so much, Alfredo. Alfredo, there's no question here or comment. Is there something else that you would like to say before we wrap it up? If not, again, thanks to everybody for being here. Thanks to all of you, those of you who made super chat donations. I really appreciate that. It allows me to do this, especially with the uncertainty out there. these days. I mean, it's entirely possible that the powers that be say no one flies anywhere for the next couple months, and then we're going to have to figure out some ways to generate income. So anyway, glad to be here with you. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and a week ahead of you, and I'll be back next Friday morning at 9 a.m. Costa Rica time. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.